Britney Griner is back in the USA, while Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez are having their day in court. Also, P. Diddy is being compared to Nick Cannon, and I'll tell you why. And also, Lil Fizz from B2K and Loving Hip Hop Hollywood, his booty hole has been busted wide all across the internet, okay? We're going to get all into that. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here or you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button right below this video if you don't know where it's at, right down there. Also, make sure you click the thumbs up like button because that helps this video get shared out throughout the YouTube community. And last but not least, join the conversation because I would love to hear what you have to say about these topics because some get a little nasty, some a little controversial. We're going to dive all into them, okay? First and foremost, Britney Griner. Let's start with her, okay? And we usually don't do politics on Damien After Dark. I want this show to be fun, lighthearted, something you can just turn to get away from the politics and the bullshit. However, this story kind of intertwines with pop culture since we're dealing with a WNBA basketball star. Even though a lot of people didn't know who Britney Griner was before this, now they do. I mean, this topic has been talked about all year long. We do know that, Britney Griner, she was sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison after she was caught with THC oil in a Moscow airport back in February when she was leaving Russia. She went over there to play ball, make some money. On her way back, they caught her. They found a little THC vape oil or whatever in her luggage. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison. There's been a lot of uproar online. There's been a lot of pressure towards the president, towards Congress, the White House to, hey, do something, get Britney Griner out of jail. What she did, the punishment does not fit the crime. And there's also been people on the other hand who are like, well, you know what? She shouldn't have did it. She was in a different country. You do the crime, you do the time. There's been this back and forth between both sides, whether you're liberal, whether you're conservative, whether you're in the middle. Everybody has had an opinion on this story. Now, my opinion, she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. The timing couldn't have been worse for her, right? She went in February. The war against Ukraine broke out in February. So she was pretty much used as a pawn. She was collateral damage in all of this. So I don't really think it was just like let's target Britney Griner, let's target this American. I think it just happened and they strategically did what they had to do by keeping her as leverage against the USA, right? Now, now that Britney Griner is home, it wasn't so easy peasy, right? They didn't just say, hey, send our American citizen back home. They had to do a trade deal, a prisoner swap where they say, hey, we'll give you this Russian prisoner that we have over here in America if you give us our American prisoner that you have over there in Russia. A part of the trade deal was that Russia wanted a convicted arms dealer named Victor, I think it's Labout, something like that. I don't know his last name. But anyway, this man is also known as the Merchant of Death. Apparently, he's one of the most dangerous men in the world, and he was pretty much supplying countries with these very deadly weapons that these countries were using to kill citizens, as well as Victor also targeted Americans and had them killed. So he was very dangerous until he was caught in Thailand back in 2008, and he'd been in prison ever since. Now, Victor was about to be up for parole, and he was also going to be released in 5 years, which doesn't change the fact that he's still dangerous, right? Still doesn't change that that fact. But back to the point, a lot of people, and to this point, I do agree that this deal kind of made the U.S. look a little weak. Now, I'm not saying that I don't agree that they did this because I'm glad that Britney Griner is home and ultimately they had to do what they had to do. However, this is going to make the U.S. look weak because now if we ever have any Americans who get caught in these foreign countries, these other countries know, okay, well, we can get something big out of these Americans for little, because of the trade deal that happened between Britney Griner and the Russian Victor whatever. Now, some would say, why would you trade someone who has done such egregious, terrible things for someone who's done something so simple as possess marijuana. Now, I think, honestly, too, that it was the media attention, it was social media, that made Britney Griner's case blow up. And again, Putin used this as leverage. You want your big star to come home, send us who we want. Ultimately, Putin did what he was supposed to do, which was get their big fish back. And I would be lying if I didn't say I was a little bit worried, because why did they specifically want him back so bad, right? Think about it. He was supplying certain deadly weapons, very, very dangerous weapons, to these different countries and for Russia, where he's from. So in my mind, and I heard someone else say this as well, Putin wants this man back to help him obliterate and take out the rest of Ukraine. They're currently in a war right now with Ukraine. Why would he not want someone that he's known that can make big moves and help them? Because look, Ukraine's this big, Russia's this big. They should have been able to wipe Ukraine out by now, but Ukraine haven't backed down. They've had a lot of support from the USA. They've had a lot of support from other countries. So they've been able to, push back on Russia. So now, Putin's probably upset, probably embarrassed that after almost a year, he hasn't been able to do the job. So he needs his big fish. And ultimately, I feel like he's getting it. Like I said, I'm glad that Brittney came home. I am. I do think that it was a bad deal. And I do wish that they would have been able to have traded Brittney for, traded Victor for not only Brittney, but Paul Whelan, who is another American that is over there in Russia on false espionage charges. And, for some people were saying, oh, why wouldn't he pay so much attention to this gay black woman who's a basketball player, this media star? Why not pay attention to the military, to the Marine who's been in there since 2018, and he was there on false charges? Now, try again, because Biden did get out a Marine before Britney Griner. He got out Trevor Reed, who had been in Russian custody since 2018. And he released him, or helped him get out of prison through, I believe, a prisoner swap. Or I don't know if it was a prisoner swap or what, but either way, he helped get Trevor Reed out of jail. So don't act like that Britney Griner was the first person that he got out of jail, and he did it for, Look, I do believe that there was an agenda with getting her out. Yes, help him get elected, help get the black vote. Look what I did. But at the same time, also at the very same time, this is a human being. This is an American. And I think the high profile, all the buzz that the case got, ultimately, hold on, y'all, let me grab my dog. He's over here, want me to pick him up. Say, hey, Coop, this is my Coopy. Ultimately, I don't remember what I was saying, Cooper. But anyway, I'm just sick of those people who say, you do the crime, you do the time. When it comes to this, just say you don't like black women. Just say you don't like black people. Own it up. And because y'all are, it's your hidden racism is what it is. Because at the end of the day, she's an American citizen. And if it was your sister, if it was your daughter, if it was your mother, you'd be saying, it was just weed. Why can't y'all release her? 9 years is too harsh. But because she's black, because she's gay, because she's a woman, not only that, like a 6'8" woman, y'all think she's less than, and it's sick. It's sick. It really is. And this, honestly, y'all, this is why I don't leave the country. This is why I don't leave the country. And I know, don't do a crime. I get it. But sometimes you could be not doing anything, and you do something that you don't know is a crime. Or hell, I've traveled places before, and I look through my luggage when I get home from the airport, and I'm like, shit. Damn, I can't believe I had this little bitty piece of weed in my, especially if you go somewhere where it's legal. I went to Colorado a few times just to smoke pot with friends, and one time I accidentally brought something back on accident, God forbid I would have been in Russia. I'd still be there. Anyways, let's move on, because I got other stories to tell y'all. So, Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, they had their day in court. Now, nothing is official. There has been no judgment, however you want to call it. But, you know, they went to court today over we all know the crazy story that went down well, we don't know the story, but we have an ideas of what happened that night in LA when Tory and Megan were in the back of an SUV. Her friend was also there, as well as someone driving the SUV, the driver. And what we saw from footage was Meg getting out of the SUV with her foot bleeding and her limping around as helicopters hovered her. Police were around, right? Now, this is another case where social media has really been on the case. Some say that Meg is lying. Some say that Tory is lying. But ultimately, the facts are going to come out at the end of the day. The facts are going to come out at the end of the day, and that is what is going to tell the true story. You know, hopefully we're gonna get down to the bottom of it. And I want to wait till the facts come out, honestly, before I really place a judgment, but like a true judgment, and before I really go in on whoever's lying, I'm gonna go in on their ass. But what I will say is that I don't understand why Megan Thee Stallion would make up a lie like this and jeopardize her career that she's so early on in, at the peak of her career. Why something like this? Why make up some kind of lie like this? Now, there's one thing that we do know. She was shot. Whether she accidentally shot herself, whether Tory shot her, we don't know. But at the end of the day, she was shot because we saw her on video limping across the street with blood running out of her foot. So something happened. Now, hear me out here. Mr. Tory Lanez, who I believe has short man syndrome, and I'm not being biased when I say what I'm about to say because I've seen Tory Lanez in concert a few times. I like his music a lot, honestly, even though he's being more well known for his antics now versus his music. I've always liked his music and supported him, even though he was opening acts when I never actually went to just see Tory Lanez, but he's open for some people that I went to see. So this is nothing like I hate Tory campaign. This is just my observation, my opinion from what I see. And a lot of times, until I'm proven differently, I like to believe when a woman comes forward and says, this happened to me. Men too, but usually this happens to women more so than men, these sort of domestic violence situations, right? But hear me out. Tory Lanez, he has a history of violence. That's no secret. It's been documented in the blogs. It's been documented on Instagram. People have taken pictures, things like that. Let's talk about Prince from Love and Hip Hop Miami. There's a video of him in the club swinging on Love and Hip Hop Miami's Prince. We have that, right? There's also August Alsina posted a picture of a busted lip. I don't know if he had a black eye or not, but where Tory Lanez had ran up on him and punched him as he was surrounded by security. Tory was. You know, he does these, like, he likes to run up, he likes to sucker punch, he likes to have security all around him. And I think it has to do with his short man syndrome. He wants to feel bigger and better than what he is because he feels so insecure being short, which I don't understand because you're really an attractive man. You have great music. That should be enough confidence for who cares how short you are. You fine. You know what I'm saying? So you have this history of being an asshole. Like, I mean, I'm just calling it what it is. You have history, Tory, of being an asshole, being a dick, being arrogant, thinking you run shit. And not only that, you're Canadian. You're not even from here. You need to pump the brakes because you keep on. America don't play. And they're going to send you back to where you came from, which is Canada, and they ain't going to let your ass back in. Because you coming over here and causing a disturbance. And we already got plenty of bullshit going on in America. We do not need no more extra shit. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past him being violent based off these other situations, especially with a woman. I would not put it past him doing this especially with a woman that he's been romantically involved with, allegedly. You know, some say, well, Megan lied because she said in an interview with Gayle King that her and Tory were never in a sexual relationship or were never sexually intimate or something like that. I don't know the details. Maybe she wasn't comfortable saying they were sexually intimate because she didn't want to. I don't know. But I also looked at it like there's a difference between were you in a sexual relationship and were you sexually intimate. So maybe she was saying, no, I was not in a sexual relationship with him. Who knows? Like I said, we're going to find out in the court document, or in the court of law when it all comes out. Do I know for a fact what happened? Absolutely not. But the math ain't math in here, and it just doesn't make sense to me for someone to say, this man shot me in the foot. Because you're not only throwing somebody that you're supposed to be friends with under the bus by doing that and lying, but let's just say you accidentally shot yourself in the foot. Or your friend did, whatever. Why wouldn't you say that? Just say that. Why would you throw somebody in the bus? That's why I'm having a hard time believing that she lied about this. Honestly, I do. Now, the court, there were some things that were said in court. Someone who was in court was there. Someone that was there, you know, took to Twitter and said something. I'm going to try to put it up here on the screen for you guys to see. I know I try to put some receipts up here for y'all all the time. Just about some different things that were said in the courtroom. You know, they said at one point Meg Thee Stallion got emotional, that Tory didn't look at her when she walked into the room. There was lots of testimony, and that people were tweeting out about this, giving the testimonies, giving us the details on what was said, which I'm going to put, like I said, put a few of those clips up there on the screen. Let me see if I can actually find really quick those. I'm going to read them along with y'all. Hold on just a second. Oh, I'm sorry, Coop. Oh my God. Y'all, my mouse just fell on my dog and I feel so bad. I'm sorry, baby. Come here. Come here. I'm sorry, my love. Come on. See, he knows I didn't mean to. Damn it. Sorry, y'all. Just got a lot going on right now. Maybe I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it right now. But anyway, I'll share. Oh, no, here we go. Okay. Allegedly, or this was allegedly said today in the courtroom, that Meg said she did not feel comfortable. They asked her why she didn't call the police immediately after. She said she did not feel comfortable talking to the LAPD, especially in summer 2020 in the wake of the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Quote, at the time, we're at the height of police brutality. I felt like if I said this man has just shot me, they might shoot first and just ask questions later. Also, quote, she said, in the Black community, in my community, it's not really acceptable to be cooperating with police officers. She ultimately reported the attack a days later, and then in an Instagram live video the next month, accused Tory of shooting her. Now, she said, this whole situation in the industry is like a big boys club. Like I'm telling on one of y'all's friends, now you're all about to hate me. So she was worried. She says she didn't call the police when all this happened because she didn't want it to backfire on her and everybody be mad at her. And also she didn't want the police to potentially shoot at her. And listen, I know some of y'all may think it sounds fishy, but I sort of believe it because I'm sure it is a lot of pressure when you're in that position and you are a celebrity. And you know, oh, if I do come out, everybody's going to turn against me. This may ruin my career. But I don't feel like that would have happened, Megan. I feel like people would have garnered around you and supported you more so than shunned you. I really do. But then again, let's look at what happened. Ever since she did come forward, a lot of people don't believe her. So maybe she has a point there. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that story. Oh, do we have time for Diddy and Nick Cannon? I don't know if we have. Anyway, let me do a quick on P. Diddy. P. Diddy is pretty much being compared to Nick Cannon because he's been spilling his seed all over the United States. And Diddy took to Twitter pretty much revealing that he just welcomed a new baby girl into the world. He wrote on Twitter, "I'm so blessed to welcome my baby girl, Love Sean Combs, to the world. Mama Combs, Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, Delilah, Jesse, and myself love you so much. God is the greatest." Now, the only thing I have to say about that is Love Sean Combs. Now, love, okay, I get it. That's pretty. People come up with all kind of names now for their children. I'm not knocking that, but why is the middle name Sean? Like, I could see if it was a boy, but maybe he's trying to do something different and name a girl after him. I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. Maybe he'll come out and say more about it. But when you say it, Love Sean Combs. Maybe that was his intention behind it. Maybe he wanted it to be said that, Love Sean Combs. I don't know. Now this is Diddy's 7th child, and people are wondering online, well, what happened to Young Miami? You and Young Miami have been flaunting all over the internet together. And, you know, he took to Twitter to clarify that as well. And he said, "Young Miami is not my side chick." Because people were saying that she was his side chick and he was just providing, you know, her sugar daddy pretty much. "Young Miami is not my side chick. Never has been, never will. She's very important and special to me, and I don't play about my shawty wop." Okay? "I don't discuss things on the internet, and I will not start today." Look, I don't blame Diddy on this one, okay? Diddy is a single man who is financially capable of taking care of all of his children. He's proven to be a good father over the years. He's present in all his children's life. They seem to really love him. All his boys do. And as far as Miami, you know, she's young and she's having fun too. I'm sure she's not worrying when is Diddy gonna wife me up and give me the ring and have children with me. I'm sure she's not thinking about that either. She's enjoying her life. She's at the height in her career. He's buying her bags and clothes and cars, and she ain't got to spend her hard-earned money on that. So I think all of them are just having fun. And at the end of the day, the only ones really worried about it are the general public. GP, like, why are we worried about it? It's not our business. Why are we in these rich folks' business? We ain't, I mean, I get it. We, you know, we all love our pop culture. We love our celebrity gossip. But y'all see what I'm trying to say. And, like, I think people are putting too much pressure on it. Like, well, what about Young Miami? Well, what about her? He never said, "This is my girl." Diddy's never said he's married or he's seeing anybody. So I think he should be able to do it. If he wants to have 20 kids, and as long as he can financially take care of them and be present in their lives, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Okay, that's just my opinion. Moving on to our last story, which is about Lil Fizz. Now, y'all may not know Lil Fizz. Those who do, great. Those who don't, he was a member of the boy band, R&B boy band back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I want to say, called B2K with Omarion, with Raz B. And he also was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Some of y'all may know him from that show. Well, oh boy put Twitter in shambles yesterday. Okay, so let me break it down to y'all. Fizz has an OnlyFans. And he's not the only rapper that has OnlyFans. Soulja Boy's got an OnlyFans. Safari's got an OnlyFans. A lot of these reality star rappers, hybrids, as I'd call them, reality star rappers, they all have OnlyFans. It's another way for them to make money. And whether y'all believe it or not, people pay for this, okay? I told y'all before on here, I bought Bobby Light's OnlyFans one time. I bought Prince from Love and Hip Hop's OnlyFans at one point, way back. They do it. So Fizz had one as well. Now, I just assumed Fizz was on there doing his thing, fucking on bitches, whacking his dick, slinging his dick, whatever. And I've seen leaks before on Twitter where Fizz's dick is exposed. You know, I've seen it. It's been all over Twitter before. Well, I was mistaken because Fizz had a lot fizzing on his OnlyFans because someone who was a subscriber who paid their monthly fee of $26, because I believe that's what it is, went on there, screenshotted a picture and screen recorded videos of his booty hole. Yes, Fizz had his bussy in the air. He's playing with his booty hole. He's spreading the cheeks at some point. And it was all over Twitter. And then Twitter was in shambles. Okay? Everybody was shocked, baby. Everybody. My mouth was dropped. Now, Here's why. If he had, it's like, some would say, well, it's just his booty hole. But we have questions here, and we have questions here. One, what is going on with your pussy, Fizz? What is going on? Why is it bruised, battered, and abused? That's what I want to know. Because it looks bruised, battered, and abused. Just like T.S. Madison said. And why does it look like a balloon knot? That's what T.S. Madison said, and that's the best way to explain it. If you haven't seen the picture, obviously, I can't, or the video, I can't post it here, or I would never have a channel again. But imagine when you blow up a balloon and you tie it in a knot. That's what his booty hole looked like, a balloon knot. Okay? That's the best way I can explain it. Well, I can get a little bit more descriptive. A bruised balloon knot with hair surrounding it. That's what it looked like. If you look at that photo, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that that hole has been fucked. Period, point blank. That hole has took some hits. It's a Mack truck, not a black truck, okay? I'm just saying. Now, some say, well, how do we, y'all know, these the same ones that were, when August Alsina publicly hugged his boyfriend on TV and pretty much came out. These the same ones who are now saying, well, how do we know that's him? Y'all, it's his OnlyFans. You can see his username down at the bottom. Not only that, he's posted his dick plenty of times before. And if you compare the two in the video, it's his penis. It's his penis. Now, I would go investigate some more, but I'm not paying $26 for nobody's OnlyFans. If anybody watching wants to do their homework, wants to do their investigative journalism reporting, go spend that $26 and report back to me, okay? And look, I don't want to deep dive into his sexuality. We're not going to do that, but I'm looking at Fizz like, because it's fine. Be bisexual, be gay, but own it. Own it. Don't try and hide it on a site for paid customers without thinking that this is going to never get out and we're not going to find out about it. We find out about everything over here. Now, the video, like I said, is on Twitter if you want to go see it. It's there. The picture's there. And if his booty hole didn't look the way it did, it would have been hot, in my opinion, for me as a gay man. Because Fizz is hot. I've always thought he was sexy. But also, as a gay man, and I can tell some of y'all females out there, I can tell you girls this too, and some of y'all may know this already, but when you have anal sex, your asshole is not going to look like that, okay? Your booty hole, your pussy ain't going to look bruised, battered, abused, like a balloon knot. It's just, unless you get in the Mack truck, unless you just getting pounded out every day, a few times a day, the booty hole is going to naturally just what's the word? Retract. It's going to retract back because it's like one of the tightest muscles. It's just going to boop right back unless you just getting beat down. And you know. Now, Fizz took to social media and he's denying it's, saying, this, quote, this shit is crazy. The levels these chicks will go to try and destroy and ruin you. Wow. Unbelievable. Y'all have a happy holiday. This is not me. Now, Fizz, I'd be straight up if I believed you. But all the evidence is here. All the evidence is here. Can I have the evidence, please? Let's step into Judge Gentry's courtroom for a moment. Evidence number 1. Comparing thy cock to thy cock in previous videos. It's you, homie. It's you. Evidence number 2. This is coming from your personal OnlyFans. What chick knew your password, logged into your OnlyFans, found a video of some guy playing with his booty hole and posted it on your, just to spite you? What, like, who did it? Moniece, your baby mama? Like, where would she get that video? That video was very personal. You could tell. Like, you can't, can we reverse Google search it to see if it's out there, somebody? Like, that video was very personal. We can easily see if this video is on the internet or not. Just stop lying, Fizz. Just own it and accept it. or go seek therapy and try to get to that point. Don't lie to yourself and live in this place of denial. There are bisexual men out there who are happy living their life. You can still have a career. Hell, it'll probably help your career because ain't nobody talking about you. Well, you ain't buying your music. You ain't really on TV besides when Love and Hip Hop gives you a call to do a 5-minute cameo. This could help your career. You could open up your fan base and audience to a whole new whatever. I think it'd be smart if you just said, hey, I'm a bisexual man. There's still going to be women who want you, plenty of them. There will. Maybe not all that used to, but there'll still be plenty. I'm sure, I'm sure his OnlyFans subscriptions went up. But anyway, that's all we really have time for. I'm at my 30-minute mark. Try to keep my videos around 30 minutes. I want to hear what you guys have to say, especially about the Fizz situation. Do y'all think that was really Fizz booty hole online? Or do you think that someone got his password, logged into his OnlyFans, found a picture of some guy's booty hole, posted it on there just to spite him, just to blackmail him? What do y'all think? I want to hear from you. Also, let me know what you think about P. Diddy. Do you think he's doing too much since he just had his 7th child and he's also being photographed with Young Miami and other women? Or do you think he should just be able to live his life and do his thing? I want to hear what you guys have to say about that as well. Also, whose side are you on when it comes to the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion courtroom showdown? Who do you believe? Do you believe that Tory really shot Megan in the foot, or do you think that she's lying and making this story up? And last but not least, Britney Griner is back in the USA, but that came with a hefty cost. Do you think that President Biden made the wrong decision by trading convicted arms dealer Victor Bout, or whatever his last name is, with Britney Griner in a trade deal with Russia? Do you think that was not a good deal? What do you think about Britney being back? Do you think she should have stayed and did her time in Russia? Or do you think the crime didn't fit and that Joe Biden and the White House did what they were supposed to do? I want to hear from you. Join the conversation by commenting below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get more up-to-date content when I post. Don't forget as well to like this video so this video can get shared throughout the YouTube community. I love you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.